we're going to play around with some yoga pranayama techniques, that is breath or energy work techniques. And we're going to work our way in through a particular pranayama practice called Dirgha Pranayama, or the long three-part breath, into a version of the Taoist Microcosmic Orbit practice. So what we're doing here is we're mixing and matching some things. Purists of a certain sort would not like it at all. I can enjoy the purist versions of these too, but today we're just gonna kind of play and mix and match and see what we can do. So I'm going to guide this as if you're sitting in a chair, or maybe at the edge of a bed, or on a stool. You could alternatively do this, of course, sitting on a yoga mat on the floor or in some other position. You're going to breathe in as you extend long, lift the sternum. Breathe out, you're going to roll forward. And then kind of round the lower back. Use your hands and knees to help support you. Roll back up and come up. So breathe in. Breathe out as you roll forward. Breathe in as you roll back and come up. This is, what is this? This is crane neck. Like some beautiful crane, if you're here in Florida, like a sandhill crane. I don't know if it actually sticks its neck out like this, but you imagine the neck is stretching forward and then you roll back up. So heart leads the way, stretching out, come back up. Now we're going to reverse this. Again, using the hands and knees to help support you. You're going to dive forward. And then as you breathe in, the shoulder blades come over together. You come up like a turtle, sticking its head out of the shell and looking around. And then around, dive forward. Breathing in as you press into the heels of the hands and come up. We'll do one more round forward. Press into the heels of hands, come up. And then here, just kind of rock side to side from one sits bone to the other. Maybe spiral a couple times as we begin to come into what will be a stable seat, as we turn a little bit more inward in the body with the focus of our attention. All right, so find yourself now in a stable seat. Feet flat on the floor. Hands palm down on the knees or the thighs, or if there's some other way it feels good to hold the hands, you can do that too. Breathing in and let the body expand. Breathe out and let the body release. The string or filament is gently pulling upward on the crown point of the head. Just notice what the quality of breathing and sitting in this bit of stillness is like right now. Maybe it's different than it was when we started. Maybe it's about the same. Just observe. Tongue is up to the roof of the mouth if it feels comfortable to breathe in and out through the nose. If it feels better to breathe through the mouth or some other orifice, just breathe. Imagine that your body is divided into three parts, not crisp divisions. The divisions are soft and blurry and still connected to each other. But imagine from your sits bones up to about the navel. Imagine that's the bottom part of what we'll call things right now. And from your navel up to like the top area of the solar plexus, the base of your sternum, that area is the middle. And then from the sternum up either to the base of the neck, or if you want to go up further to the top of the head, that's the top. So bottom is up to about the navel, middle up to about the base of the sternum, and the top is the rest of the way up in the body from there. And as you breathe in, begin what's called Dirgha Pranayama, or the long three-part breath. When literally it's the long breath, but we're going to do it with three parts. So here, as you breathe in, imagine you first can breathe in to the bottom part, filling that with air or with energy. Then breathe in more and fill the middle, and then keep breathing all the way up to the top. And as you breathe out, release from the top, and then the middle, and then the bottom. Stay with that at your own pace. As you breathe in, just imagine. Sorry, my devices are thinking I'm talking to them in the background. Breathing in from the bottom to the middle, to the top, releasing from the top, and then the middle, and the bottom, staying with that. It feels good to remain in stillness, then stay perfectly or close to perfectly still. The body wants to sway a little bit, that's fine here. Just focus on the wave of breath. Breathing in, and it rises through the bottom, and then the middle, and then the top, and then it crests and begins in the out breath, going out from the top, and then the middle, and then the bottom. Breathing in bottom, middle, top. Breathing out top, and then middle, and then bottom. Following your own pace of breath, staying with the Dirgha Pranayama, the long three-part breath. Imagine that you can look down inside your own body. It's like a wave on an ocean. You can just see the wave as you breathe in. The wave gently begins to rise from bottom, and then middle, and then top, and then it releases top, and then middle, and then bottom. Very gentle rhythm of waves, following with your eyes as if you can see it on the inside. Breathing in from the bottom to the middle, to the top, releasing top, and then middle, and then bottom, staying with it. Body to expand as it goes upward along with the wave. Doesn't matter what it looks like from the outside, but just imagine and invite it to happen in whatever way in your experience, that as you breathe in, your lower abdomen begins to expand, and then the middle and upper part of the abdomen, and then all the way up, expanding through the chest and the upper back. And as you breathe out, it releases back to center at the top, and then the middle abdomen area, and the lower abdomen, and even the lower back, pulling gently back in. Breathing in, bottom, middle, top. Breathing out, top, and then middle, and bottom. Stay with it a little bit longer, just like this. Agitation arises or the mind wanders. There's other thoughts and images, or it drifts into some kind of sleep-like lethargy. That's all. It's all fine. Just when you notice it, come back to the wave. Breathing in bottom, and then middle, and top, releasing top, and then middle, and then bottom, staying with it. Stay with the image of the wave, the top of the water rising up and then releasing back down. We might begin to let any imagery become a bit more abstract, so that now in the center of the body, as you breathe in, there's just rising from the perineum up through the center of the body, all the way up now to the top of your head. And as you breathe out, there's just breath falling, releasing down through the body, past the heart, through the center of yourself, through the center of your body, back down to the perineum, or to the meeting point of yin between the legs and chains. So breathing in, just see rising through the center core all the way up to the top of your head. Breathe out, see falling through the body back down to the center. Comes to you as like a ball of light. You just feel, just stay with, just focusing as you breathe. Just imagine connecting this movement up the central channel of the body, up top, crown point of the head. Breathe out, releasing, just down through the center, gently falling, pushing gently down to the bottom. Breathing in, feel it, or see it, or experience it rising to the center, up to the top of the head. Now, release it straight down, gently back down, seat. Stay with that. So, now, just feeling the up to the center of the breath, releasing the down to the center of your outlet. Whatever pace your breath is coming to you right now. Staying with this, breathing in as rising happens inside the center of the body. Breathing out as releasing downward happens in the center of the body. But very gently begin to separate or to expand the upward rising. Let it go a little bit toward the back of the central core of your body. And then at the top, it begins to turn. And as you breathe out, just see the downward movement going a little bit more toward the front of the body. Breathing in, and there's rising a bit toward the back side of the core of the body as it rises up. And then see it gently turn at the crown of the head. And as you breathe out, it begins to sink and drift down toward the front of your body. It might only be like an inch or two difference between the front and the back. Maybe it wants to expand out and away toward the surface of your body. Whichever way it is, just follow it. Breathing in, and there's rising through the center toward the back, all the way up to the top of the head. And breathing out, there's drifting downward toward the front of the body, all the way down to the perineum, to the meeting point of yin. Stay with that, breathing in, rising toward the back. And at your own pace, breathing out, drifting downward to the front. Up to the roof of the mouth as if closing a channel along the front of your body. As you breathe in, just notice sensations of the movement of the breath with the body along the back side of your body as you take a full breath in all the way up to the top. And as you breathe out, just invite the attention to follow sensation down the front surface of the body as you breathe out all the way down past the navel to the meeting point of yin at the perineum. So breathing in, follow sensation of movement up along the surface of the back of your body, up over the top of the head. And breathe out, just follow any sensation down along the front of the body, back down past the navel and down to the perineum, sits bones, that area. So breathing in past the tailbone and sacrum, up along the mid-back, the back of the neck, the back of the head, over the top. And breathing out from the lower palate and the chin, past the heart, past your navel, down, curling backward under the perineum. So breathing in, trace it along the back, all the way up the upper back, over the top of the head. Breathing out from the tongue and the chin and the neck and down the front of the body, following it down as it curls underneath you. See what it's like to try to visualize it if you're not visualizing it along with the sensation. See what it's like to imagine that you can see some movement rising up along the surface of the back, Follow it with the eyes as it arcs over top of your head. And then trace it down visually down the front surface of the body, back down past the navel to the meeting point of yin. See, following that, what it's like for a few rounds, breathing in, watching movement along the surface of your back up over the top of the head. Breathing out, seeing that movement and feeling that movement down the surface of your abdomen, past the navel, back down past the sexual center, to the perineum, to the meeting point of yin. Stay with your breath. Stay with this, breathing it in up along the surface of the back line of the body, and then breathing it out down along the surface of the front. That feels exactly what's right now, then stay exactly like that. You might also try seeing what it's like to invite the movement to be hovering just outside the surface of the body, so that when you breathe in, you're feeling and watching movement up behind you, a few inches behind the body, but you can feel it arcing up over the top of the head, hovering over the head. And then breathing out, seeing it drift down in front of the body. Things are just expanding outward. And as it arcs below you, it goes through or below the surface you're sitting on. And then breathing in, feeling it and watching it floating or drifting or pushing up behind you, just up over the top of the head. Breathing out, it sends it down, out in front of the body, feeling it if you can feel it, seeing it if you can see it, or just intending it if that's how it comes to you down the front line. Stay with these circles or these circulations around the outside of the body. Breathing in, it rises behind you upward. Breathing out, it drifts down in front of you, down. Just like this, however you're doing it right now, you might see what it's like to expand the movement out even further, so that it's 10 feet or 20 feet behind you, breathing in and just tracing movement up, out behind you, arcing way up over your head. And as you breathe out, see it go down in front, out way in front of you, down below you, below whatever surface you're on, tracing it down below you, whether in the ground or down below the next floor or two down you in the building. Breathing in, it just circles up behind you, following it with the eyes or with feeling or with intent over the top of your head, and it circles down out in front, below you and around and turning back up. Tracing it out around you with a big arc. You let it become more circular in shape, that here in the center of this big circle, maybe even a big sphere. And you're breathing in, and you're tracing movement from way below you, arcing in a big semicircle out behind you, way up over your head. And breathing out, and you're tracing that spot of movement as it arcs down way out in front of you and curves deep down below you. Stay with the movement, breathing in, the circling behind you, expanding far, far out. Breathing out, circling, arcing down way out in front of you. Up to the roof of the mouth. And circle all the way out into space. Out, arcs way above, down, up, way out, arc, curls deep down below. Follow it with the breath. Expanded all the way out past the edge of the galaxy. These immense arcs. This space with the breath. Incredible distances, hovered, traveled, following it with the eyes, or with feeling, or just with intent. Stay with it longer, breathing in, arcing up behind you, way out in immense space. Breathing out, arcing down, out in front of you, way out through immense space. Following this movement around you, just notice if there's an emotional quality present to you as you do this movement, or as you bring your attention to this movement. See if you can glide into it a little bit of softness, a little bit of kindness. Just following this immense movement out now to the edges of the universe, or to as far as you can imagine. Breathing in, just seeing the arcing movement, circling up to the edges behind you, over the top of your head. And breathing out, see it arcing down out in front of you, all the way down and below to the bottom. Few more rounds out to the edges, to the limits, just following it around with the breath. Ready, just keep with the movements, but begin to let the circles become smaller as they begin to spiral gently back inward. So breathing in, and you're arcing out into space, and it's beginning to get closer. And breathing out, it arcs down, out in front of you. Gathering back now, just arcing around the galaxy. You see fit, it's arcing to the edges of the solar system, following these spirals as they move in phase with the breath. It comes back around now the earth. Down through the earth and up to the edge of the sky above. Back so that the circles become more oval, circling around just outside the surface of the body. If it stays with the breath, that's good. If the movement becomes the movement independent of the breath, that's fine too. Just begin to see the movement moving up along the surface of the back, up over the top of the head, and then down along the front of the body, just tracing along at the surface again. Phase with your breath, breathing it in, up, along, just inside the surface of the back. Breathing it out, sending it down just inside the surface of the front of the body. Tracing it with the feeling or with the eyes or both. Breathing in, up the back. Breathing out, down the front. Feels ready. Back into an imagined center of the body, so that you're breathing in. It rises up just behind the center core of your body. And then this turn is really tight at the top. And you breathe out and it goes just down in front of the center line of the body. As it's ready, just begin to transition the imagined movement back into simple rising from the perineum straight up to the top of the head. And breathing out, and it gently releases and drifts downwards, straight down through the center channel of the body. Breathing in, there's just rising upward to the top of the head. Breathing out, there's releasing down, all the way down to the meeting point of yin at the perineum. You can see the waves on the ocean again, the body. The wave rises to the bottom, middle, breathing out, the wave releases from the top, the middle, the bottom, back into Dirgha Pranayama, long, three-part breath, bottom, middle, top, top, the middle, bottom. Stay with that a few rounds. visualization here, unless it just wants to remain, just releasing it. Just following the breath, breathing in from the bottom, and then the middle, and then the top, releasing top, and middle, and the bottom. Just simple breathing in, the bottom, up to the top, out, release, down to the bottom. Structure the practice. Breathing out. Just feel like there is to observe how much you breathe in, breathe out. Body, whatever you're sitting on right now, those points of sensation. The sensation, the points of contact between your feet, whatever surface is below you. Close the eyes. Body rock forward, back. Stillness. Close. You can bring the hands together. Some heat in the hands. I invite you either to touch the face or to hover. I'm going to hover today myself. So closing the eyes and holding the hands in front of the eyes, the lollipop points at the center of the palm in front of the eyes. Either hands touching the closed eyes or hovering. And imagine you can look into the warmth and the darkness. Rub the hands together again, get some heat in the hands. You can either touch the face or hover this time. You're going to bring the hands from the chin up the center line of the face, up the forehead, and down the sides. And whether you're hovering or touching, just imagine that you can invite any tension or tightness that's there that isn't helping you to be released. And also feeling or sensing either the touch or the hovering presence of the hands as you move them along and in front of the face. And then fingertips brushing back along the sides and top of the scalp. Maybe tapping the bony parts of the fingertips all around the top and sides and back of the head. Rub the ears. Brush over the top of the head, down the back to the neck and out. And then take your hands and kind of rub your mid to lower back, inviting any muscle tightness to be released. Imagine you're sending some love to the kidneys. You might take loose fist and kind of tap back there, leaning forward if you need to access that spot. Take one of your arms, palm up, just brush down the inside of the arm to the fingertips, turn the arm over, brush up the side of the hand and wrist, side of the arm, back of the shoulder, go down the inside of the other arm, up the outside. And then either do this part seated, or if you're ready to stand up and that feels good, you take your hands, run them down the back / outside of the legs, up the inside / front. And that's our practice today. Thanks.